Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning Five here on Friday, March 29th, 2019. I am Dave Biddle. Very happy to be joined by Bill Kurelic, the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic. Bill, let's start with who might be on commit watch for the Buckeyes. Is there anybody out there that we should be keeping our close tabs on? Who's on commit watch for the Buckeyes?
Well, Dave, it's an interesting weekend in that I don't know if the commit watch is the biggest theme, at least to me, for Friday and Saturday. Maybe the biggest theme is offer watch, as I call it, because, we've got three prospects. You've got Paris Johnson, the offensive tackle that has committed to Ohio State. You've got Darrion Henry, the defensive lineman that Ohio State would love to have. And then you've got Jaheim Thomas, linebacker. Thomas and Henry are teammates at Cincinnati Princeton, while Paris Johnson, of course, is their good friend. And those three have been making visits together at all kinds of different schools. Last week they were to LSU and Alabama. They've been to Tennessee and Georgia and so on. So they've been making all these visits together, and they're all going to be at Ohio State this weekend. The only one without an offer so far is Jaheim Thomas. I think that's kind of something I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. Will Ohio State offer him a scholarship? The thing to me is that Ohio State is not going to take a lot of linebackers in this recruiting class, the 2020 class. They would love to get Mitchell Melton out of Maryland, who visited Ohio State earlier this week. He is a prospect that's very similar to Jaheim Thomas in size and all. So do they offer Jaheim Thomas this weekend? That's something that I'm going to be watching closely. And if they do, what does that mean, those three together? I don't really believe in package deals, but there's no doubt that they are good friends and that Paris Johnson and Darrion Henry would love to see their buddy, Jaheim Thomas, also get an offer from the Buckeyes.
How do you feel about Paris Johnson right now? Are you pretty confident that he's going to be a Buckeye?
I think in the end he will be, but I don't think it's a done deal. He is visiting these other schools, and his status has not changed. He is still an Ohio State commitment. That's unchanged. But he is visiting these other schools, and, they want to take a look at the schools. When they committed to Ohio State, Urban Meyer obviously was the head coach. It's, of course, Ryan Day right now. And while they have a lot of respect, they like Ryan Day a lot. They think he's an outstanding football coach. As it was put to me, they're reserving the right to take a look at some other schools because there has been a change since he committed. So in the end, if I had to predict right now, yeah, I would predict that he's going to be a Buckeye. But again, it's not a done deal. He is visiting other schools, as we all know.
I want to ask you about a young man from the state of Michigan, Cameron Martinez, the 2018 Player of the Year from the state of Michigan. The Buckeyes are interested. He's interested in the Buckeyes. What do the listeners need to know about Cameron Martinez?
Oh, he's an outstanding prospect. I think sometimes talking on the front row, not enough credit is given to just how good a player he is. He's a guy that Ohio State definitely likes, and he's going to be at Ohio State this weekend. He's also going to be at the opening regional in Massillon, at Massillon Washington High School on Sunday. So I'm anxious to see him play. He is an outstanding, like I said, athlete. I think Ohio State likes him a little bit more as a defensive back, but he's awful good with the ball in his hands, and they've talked to him about slot receiver as well. So he's a guy that to keep an eye on as far as his Ohio State visit this weekend, because he likes Ohio State a lot. He's got Michigan offer, a Michigan State offer, Northwestern offer. Those are some schools he's interested in, but he likes Ohio State a lot, and we'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to make a decision on anything this weekend, and I am very anxious to see him in person on Sunday, but he's a guy that maybe Ohio State fans shouldn't sleep on, so to speak. He's a very good football player.
And I was going to ask you about the opening at Massillon. Speak a little bit more about that. I know you're going to be there all day on Sunday. You already mentioned Cameron Martinez. Who are some other guys we're going to be keeping close tabs on this Sunday at Massillon?
Well, Dave, that's going to be a great day. The only bad thing is that it's supposed to be a high of about 35 degrees, and it is scheduled to be an outdoor thing all day. So if they keep it outside, Massillon has a great indoor facility. I don't know, maybe they'll move it in there. It's going to be a little bit of a cold one on Sunday, but it'll be worth it. there are some outstanding players. There's a lot of players that are going to be there Sunday that Ohio State would love to have. Paris Johnson, Darrion Henry, Jaheim Thomas, they're all going to be there in Massillon on Sunday. DeMonte Traham, the running back from Akron-Hovind, he'll be there, and he's a guy that Ohio State would take in this class right now, and he's a guy that I think Ohio State eventually gets. I'm going to make his decision in May or June, and I love Ohio State's chances with him. I'm looking forward to seeing Ohio State's offensive tackle, offensive guard, offensive line commitment, Trey LaRue. He'll be there, and a lot of people have talked about Ohio State and taking him at a very early point, and I'll be interested to watch him in action. Donovan Edwards, kid from Michigan, a 2021 running back, will be there. He's a kid that Ohio State likes a lot. And they have a realistic chance of getting him, stealing one from Michigan. Dave, it doesn't get too much better for Ohio State fans than that. There's going to be a lot of other, I mentioned Cameron Martinez, a number of other prospects from Michigan that are going to be there. Lorenzo Styles from Ohio, Blake Fisher, 2021 offensive tackle from Indiana. So it should be a great day, and we're going to have all the coverage here on Bucknuts on Sunday.
As you look at this 2020 class, it seems like it can be a very big class. But just, how many, I know things can change. It's always fluid when you talk about how many kids you can take in a class. But as you look at Ohio State with this 2020 class, could this be a class, Bill, where they take like 25 kids? Just how many could they take? How many do you expect they will take?
I think they might be able to get that high, Dave. I'm projecting at least 22. And, that's an improvement, so to speak, over their 2019 class where they didn't have a lot of space. They should have at least space for 22 players. And you never know who's going to go to the NFL early. You don't know exactly who's going to leave the program for some other reason, injuries or playing time or whatever. But I think it'll be at least 22. In fact, I'm sure it'll be at least 22 because I think there'll be enough guys that go to the NFL or whatever early. I think it could get to 23, 24, maybe 25. We'll have to see, but it's going to be a bigger class this year. It's not going to be the small type class where numbers were very limited as with the 2019 class. And that's great for Ryan Day, to be able to, his first, solo recruiting class, so to speak. They're off to a great start, and he can bring in 22, 23, 24, 25, that number of players in that class.
Great insights, as always, from the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic. Thank you very much, Bill. It's going to be a busy weekend. Appreciate you taking time to join me. And thanks to all listeners out there for tuning into the show. I appreciate that as well. I hope everyone has a great day and a great weekend. Let's hear that Buckeye swag, best damn band in the land.